guys? LocsNLoad firearm reviews here today. Alright, today's gun rant is how I feel about AKs. Alright, so this is how I feel about them. Trash! LocsNLoad out. Nah, I'm just playing. Alright, so here's how I feel about AKs. AKs are a good platform. Don't get me wrong. You know, AKs are definitely well known for being reliable. Not the most accurate, but accurate enough firearms. And you know, they're relatively cheap. I don't know, maybe back in the day they were cheaper, but you know, they're relatively cheap to make. You know, I guess if you're a country or some shit, but they do serve a good purpose. And you know, if someone has one, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you shouldn't have an AK. All right, it just, you know, for me, it's like a love-hate thing with AKs. You know, I like how they shoot. I like the recoil of an AK. It's very soft, very mild shooting. You know, you can definitely, you know, just bear down on a target and just kind of just mag dump on it. I guess if I had to break it down, pros and cons, I go with the pros. 7.62 by 39. That caliber is a man stopper. 7.62, 30 caliber projectiles are good at putting down people and animals. All right, so you come with a 7.62 by 39. That's definitely going to do some damage to the human body. And it's well known for it. You know, whether you are a military person or, you know, you watch rap videos all the time, you know, you hear about the AK and the 7.62 by 39 caliber and what it can do. All right, so that's definitely a pro for the AK-47. It's the fact that it has, you know, I don't want to say stopping power, but it has a very capable projectile. All right, another pro, reliability. You know, everyone's seen, you know, the Grand Thumb video. He put it all in ice. Granted, those videos I kind of about because, you know, people see one AK and it works and they'll be like, oh, all the AKs work. Or they'll be like seeing AR that doesn't work, they're like, all the ARs don't work. And it's not very true. Cause, I mean, granted, it gives you some kind of insight, I guess, but it's a sample set of one. So just because this one rifle failed doesn't mean the next 99 are gonna fail, right? So that's the only thing about those. But AKs are, throughout history, are well known for their reliability. They're just, you know, tanks, you know, mud, dirt, sand, ice, snow, right? They'll just chunk right through that shit. So that's definitely a pro for, you know, you AK people. Customization, somewhat, you know, better than some other platforms. Not as good as the AR, but it's still decent. You know, you can still upgrade it, put like M-lock rails, foregrips, optics, lasers. You can change out the stocks. So it does have customization. It has modularity. It has innovation in it, right? So it's not just like an old ass 1947 gun that people kind of think it is. So it has, you know, it has some modularity to it. So, you know, it is a pro, but at the same time, it is also a con, which I'll get into later. All right. Okay. Recoil management, how it shoots, you know, all that. This is a very soft shooting gun. Even with a 7.62 by 39 round, like this shit is just right. And that on two is the weight. Right, the weight is a pro and a con. So when it comes to that recoil management, the weight of an AK usually is heavier than AR-15. So the weight is also helping you dampen that recoil. So again, that's a pro and a con because it does help you recoil management. But if you gotta, you know, hike and ruck with that motherfucker, it's definitely gonna be a con at that point. But you know, it's a trade-off, right? No rifle is perfect. What else? As far as triggers, AKs have nice triggers. For the AKs I've shot, they all seem to have nice triggers. Follow-up shots are very nice. Yeah, that's about it. That's what I say about it with the pros of the AK. Now, when it comes to cons, now I honestly go with my biggest con is the safety, right? The thing that gets on my nerves the most with any AK platform, that safety lever, having to deactivate a safety lever, right? Because I'm an AR guy, you know, from the ground up, military, civilian. I'm trained with an AR-15, so when I come on target, you know, reaching up to here, you know, I have to come up on target and I have to drop the lever and get my finger on the trigger. No, can I do it? Yes. It's just a little bit more practice you just have to do. And the thing I hate the most about it is that when you go offhand and you try to deactivate that safety lever, it's a pain in the ass. It feels awkward because again, with the AR, all your controls are right here where God intended to be, and now you got the safety lever up here where Satan likes it to be. It doesn't mesh well with me, especially, you know, when I go offhand, I'm shooting, boom, boom, and I want to come off target, break down the rifle, and move or something. You know, I want to have it on safety, but bring it back and try to use my thumb or take my hand off the foregrip and push it up and then move with it. It just, those extra steps I don't like. That really irks me with AKs. So, you know, that's my biggest con with AKs is the weapon manipulation, how it's just not as easy as the AR is. Now granted, you know, maybe if I had a little bit more training, I could work it out, but it still is just not as intuitive or not as efficient as like the AR controls, being right here where I can do everything with this one hand versus having to all this shit, right? Even with the magazine changes, you know, you have to hit that little lever with one hand, or the mag that's got to flip out, then you got to come back and rock it in there. All right, you know, if you don't get the rock motion right, it doesn't go in. If you don't hit the paddle right, the mag might not come out or might kind of get stuck, and you got to do some I don't like all that. Then once you insert it, you got to come under the mag or tilt the rifle and then cock the you got to charge the fuck me you got to charge the bolt and chamber around, right? It's just all those extra steps I don't like with AKs versus like AR. I just boom, 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 hit the mag release, mag falls out, insert, thumb hits the bolt release, get my grip, and I go back to shooting. Versus AK, no, I gotta drop the safety lever, shoot, push it back up, or, you know, reload, hit that paddle with the mag, make sure the magazine flips out, come back, rock it in there, right? Then reach my hand under, charge the bolt, bring my hand back to the foregrip, and then shoot. That right there is just my biggest con with the AKs. Modularity, you know, they have them now. Like nowadays, they've kind of caught up to what ARs can do, but like for certain things, you just can't do as well as an AR. Like suppressing AK suppressed, and trying to suppress an AK is not as easy as just like an AR. Right, for most ARs, you just get a muzzle device, and screw on the suppressor, and then you just go. Now you might have to kind of tinker with certain things, like, you know, your gases and whatnot, if you want like no blowback and everything, right? To really tweak it down to how you like it. But for the most part, you just get a muzzle device and a suppressor, and you can just go. But AKs, you gotta do a little bit more. You know, when the AR breaks down, you can really, anybody can really just kind of take it back home, disassemble it, pop out pins, whatnot, and change out parts. With AK, parts interchangeability like that is not as easy or as common, or it's not gonna work at all, right? You know, that's a con, right? So yes, they're reliable, but if that AK goes down, that AK really goes down, or you have to do some kind of real serious maintenance to it that you might not be able to do out in the field, right? Whereas an AR, like let's say, you know, your gas tube breaks. All right, cool, just get another upper or change out the gas tube, right? And then you're back right in it. So it's not as easy as, you know, ARs. So that's a con. Accuracy. Now, granted, within 300, AKs are fine. You know, they'll hit the man-sized target, right? People will be like, granted, us Americans, we're kind of spoiled with our ARs being, you know, sub MOA. Everyone's sub MOA, 1 MOA or better, right? You know, so, you know, AK is like 2 or 3 MOA, right? Don't get me wrong, a 2-3 MOA gun within 300 yards will hit you in the motherfucking chest and drop you right in your tracks. So it just, once you get past that 300 yards, this ballistics of a 7.62 by 39, it's just not as good or as stable as the 223 5.56 projectile. Right, after 300, you know, your AK, your round is losing velocity and it's starting to be affected by like the wind and everything a lot more than like a 223 will at 300 yards. All right, and that really kind of comes down to a lot of things like how the projectile is shaped, the size of the projectile, how much it weighs, the velocity behind it, right? Because no, AR-15, 223, 20-inch barrel, that bitch is coming out 3,000 feet per second. Now, 16-inch barrel, you're looking at 2,700 feet per second, 2,700 feet per second, right? 2,800 feet per second. With an 8K, you know, it's not going as fast. It's going fast enough, don't get me wrong. It's definitely going fast enough, but not as fast as the 223. So, you know, it's gonna be affected by the atmosphere, weather, all that stuff a lot more than 223. So when it comes to like a long-range projectile or a long-range weapon, AKs really aren't the go-to. AK-47 is like that variant. Now if you get like a Dragunov or SVD, something like that, then that's a little different because, you know, you're stepping out the barrel length, and with those you're getting, I think those are 7.62 by 54 R, right? And so bigger projectile, more velocity. But yeah, AKs, again, within 300, AKs are definitely accurate enough. I think that's kind of about it for the cons, right? That's just how I feel. Again, there's probably other things, but I like trying to make this a 30-minute video, right? You get the gist. So that's how I feel about AKs. No, are they my go-to? No. Would I like to have one? Sure, yeah, definitely. Especially that gold one you guys see me shooting in my little intros, outros. Definitely, I'd love to have that one, and it folds too. Oh yeah, definitely. I'd be acting a fool with that one. I don't know. I feel like when I hold an AK, it's like I feel like when I hold an AK, it's like I gotta do some crime now. I don't know why. I feel like I just gotta do some wild shit when I have an AK. It's like, you know, let's rob a bank. You know, let's do something we ain't supposed to. I don't know. AKs just make you just want to do something wrong. I don't know. That's just me though. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a bad person. I don't know. But anyway, so that's how I feel about AKs. Great weapon. Does a lot of things good. Doesn't do everything, but then again, no rifle does. It's just certain cons and things about it that just make me not want to gravitate towards it as much as I do my AR. Right? And especially us living in America, the most popular rifle in America is an AR-15. So I'm becoming encounter with AR-15s more often than I will AKs. And so that, again, parts interchangeability. That's really where it leans to. You know, when I'm thinking, like, if my AR goes down, how am I gonna replace it or fix it? It's easier to do that in the field with the AR than the AK. Because like I said, again, something goes down, something happens to my upper, bam, just pop, pop. 2 pins, new upper, pop, pop. Back in it. AKs, not so easy. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. If you're looking for a firearms class, whether that be for concealed carry to get your certificate, or you want to take a beginners or advanced level firearm class with me, hit me up in the email or go to the website, sign up for a class. I'm out here in Jacksonville, Florida, but I can travel to you, you know, depending on where you are. I just need like 5 people or more to sign up for a class. So on top of that, thank you for watching. LocsNLoad out.